The wind howled through the forest, bending the pine trees until they groaned under the weight of the snow. Thick white flakes fell from the sky, spinning wildly in the blizzard's fury. Most animals had already taken shelter: rabbits, curled in their burrows, foxes tucked deep into their dens. But one young deer was still out there. She had wandered too far while searching for food. The snow had been falling since morning, and now it lay knee-deep. Each step was harder than the last, her slender legs trembling with effort. Her breath came in short white puffs, and her ears twitched at the sound of the storm. She needed to find her way back to the grove where the rest of the herd had gathered. But the wind erased all scent trails and buried the paths beneath drifting snow. Then it happened: she stepped into a deep hollow hidden under the snow. Her front legs plunged forward and her chest hit the icy layer. She kicked, but her hooves found no solid ground. The more she struggled, the more the snow packed around her legs. She was trapped. Hours passed. The storm only grew worse. Her ears and nose stung from the cold. She lowered her head, exhausted, and waited. Miles away, inside the small ranger's cabin, Eli Turner listened to the weather reports crackling on his old radio. It was his second winter as a park ranger in Pine Hollow Reserve. Most days were quiet: just him, the forest, and the animals. But blizzards were different. Storms didn't just threaten trees and roads, they could trap or kill the wildlife too. Through the static, a faint call came in from another ranger. "Eli, you there? Got a report from a hiker. Said he saw a deer stuck near the north ridge, before the snow picked up. Not sure if it's still there. Visibility's bad." Eli looked out the window. Snow whipped against the glass. The north ridge was nearly 2 miles away. Going out in this weather was dangerous. But he imagined the deer alone, cold, maybe hurt-hand. He couldn't sit by. Grabbed his thick coat, boots, and snow goggles and slung his emergency pack over his shoulder. Then he stepped into the blizzard. The wind fought him with every step. Snow clung to his eyelashes, and the path vanished beneath shifting drifts. More than once, Eli thought about turning back, but then he pictured the deer against oft brown eyes, wide with fear, legs buried in snow. After nearly an hour, he reached the north ridge. The storm had quieted just enough for him to hear it: a faint sound over the wind, a sharp, desperate cry. "There," he called, though the deer couldn't hear him over the wind. She was half buried in a snow hollow, sides heaving. Her fur was dusted white, and her ears barely twitched as he approached. Her strength was fading fast. "It's okay," Eli said gently, kneeling down. "I'm here to help." She flinched when he touched the snow around her, but didn't try to run. She was too tired. Eli began digging with his gloved hands, breaking the icy crust and scooping away the snow. Every few moments he stopped to speak softly to her, letting her know he meant no harm. It took nearly 20 minutes to free her legs. When she tried to stand, she stumbled. Her legs were numb from the cold. Eli pulled a blanket from his pack and draped it over her back. "Come on, girl. We're getting you out of here." He led her slowly through the snow, clearing a path with his body so she could follow. Twice she stopped, shivering violently, and he had to pause, speaking quietly until she took another step. The journey back to the ranger station was slow, but the sight of the cabin's warm light finally came into view. Inside, he spread dry towels on the floor and coaxed her onto them. She sniffed the air, still wary, but didn't resist. Eli worked quickly, rubbing her legs to bring back warmth and offering her water. He knew she couldn't stay long. Wild animals were and meant to be kept indoors. But for now, she needed shelter. By morning, the blizzard had passed. The forest outside was silent, blanketed in soft white. When Eli opened the cabin door, the deer stood just behind him. She looked out at the world, ears perked, as if deciding whether it was safe. "Go on," he said with a small smile. "Your herd's out there." She stepped outside, her hooves sinking gently into the snow. For a moment she turned her head back to him. Their eyes met, just long enough for him to think she understood. Then she bounded away, vanishing between the trees. Eli watched until she was gone. His fingers still ached from the cold, but his chest felt warm. Some rescues you never forget. Moral: even in the fiercest storms, a little courage can bring someone home.